Good morning, everyone. My name is Sanwal. Today, I'm here to going to present business analytics and decision making for UK car renting and leasing. Here, I divide my presentations part in different sections. So, let me start with the introductions. Big data and its analysis is now very common tools that is used in business to solve complex problems and come up with the best possible solution to base business decision making on business statistics, which generates better knowledge and understanding of evidence-based management and performance of the companies. According to Cow, Don, and Lee, 2015, car rental and leasing industry is one of the most significant industry in UK, which which contribute to the GDP of the country, and its promote tourism sector of the country, making easier and economical for the tourism. That is why data analysis is crucial to the managers of this industry to make business decisions on these critical facts and make best business choice, which drive growth and development, not only to the company but also for the country. Further, Gurio and Livdo state that big data analytics help to track previous trend of data, and thus on the basis of historical data, manager gather all the relevant facts and make an operational decision for the company. Big data analytics help in driving the revenue management and devising policy that help improve the revenue of cycle, which will also contribute the GDP of the country. Let me talk about business analysis in decision making. According to Cow, Don, and Lee, big data provided. According to Cow, Don, and Lee, big data provide data drive insight to business, which help is coming up with the better solution to the best to the business problem. Better decision making on the basis of research and evidence based data, thus making an effective choice of your business at a management level. The data drive environment has a positive influence on the processing of capability of information. Sharma, Mehta, and Khalali also mentioned that big data has a big hand in improving and enhance customer experience, understanding the transaction with the customer, and employ to the better respond to their needs, achieving a business goal, targeting key audience, and enhance growth of the business. In addition, to this, big data is also useful when it's come to the making an internal cost benefit analysis, which helps the managers in approving the supply chain, inventory management, risk evaluation, and better management of these, such as better allocation of time, budget, and other resources. Let me talk about the industry. According to IBIS World 2021, the car rental and leasing industry of UK has been flourishing in the last 5 years, along with the tourism industry of the country. Since car rental and leasing industry generate most of the revenue from the tourists who come to visit the country and find the services of rental car easy, quick, and economical. It can be concluded that this industry is significant dependent of tourism industry. Although there have been some factors which reduce tourism in more recent years, like decline of home value as well as the pandemic, due to which social distancing and isolation were peak. But still, the industry has significantly contributed to the GDP of country in the last 5 years. Features like low cost of and flexibility travel this industry effective for the tourists and lucrative for the companies. However, rising competition and technology advancement in the industry has sharpened the profit margin of the companies in this industry. Let me talk about descriptive analysis. 10 companies from this industry has been chosen for data from 2011 to 2019 has been gathered on the contributed to the GDP. Total registered cars they own and the amount of revenue they earn during this period. Here is the table of mentioned. On the first top, like GDP, number of tourists, and number of cars is three. We have the three variables. All the rest are the company names. Like these companies are National Car Rental, Holiday Autos, Six Cent Car, Auto Europe, Enterprises Car Rent a Car, Car Rental, Budget, Caddy, Lamo, and RentCar.com. The descriptive statistics analysis dissipating standard deviation, variance, and skewness of the variable has been reflected in the following table. The correlation table are be added in the appendix. According to correlation table, the GDP of the country has a weak relation, but it is mostly positive with the most of the company in the industry. Of top 10 companies, 6 companies have moderately negative correlation with the number of tourists in this country. However, the revenue of the companies lie in between moderately positive to moderately negative correlations in between themselves, which is from plus 0. 0.5 to minus 0. 0.5, suggesting they have a weak moderate correlation and their revenue does not depend much on each other. Let me talk about predictive analysis. Initially, the simple regression analysis has been run on SPSS in which GDP is a dependent variable and is lied on two independent variables, which are total registered car of the industry and number of the tourists in the country in a given year. The test results are statistically significant and suggest that GDP of the country is dependent on these two variables. The model summary has been added in Appendix B. Then regression analysis has been run for each company where revenue of each company was taken as the dependent variable and the registered number of vehicles owned by the company and tourist is that year has been considered as an independent variable. Again, the results were statistically significant and show that the revenue of the company is association with the number of tourists and vehicle of the company. The regression test has been reflected in a practice B. I will show you. Finally, the revenue of the all company has been added to see the expected of sum of all tourists and sum of all cars of the industry has been combined revenue of our industry. The R and R scale value of zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.3 and 0.90 indicate that goodness of fit of this model are reveal that the higher tourism, the higher the revenue of company, and thus the higher the GDP of the country. The data analysis has been done on data collected for 10 companies, taking the GDP as a dependent variable and total registered car and tourists as an independent variable. The simple linear regression model was run in SPSS, according to which R was 0.387 and R scale was 1.5, which reflected how well the regression model split the observed data, which were counts is almost 38.7% here. According to the value of R, but R a higher R scale value is the indication of better fit of the test. Further, keeping revenue as a dependent variable and total registered car owned by the company and tourists as an independent variable, regression was done for each company whose R and R scale values has been reflected in the following table, which is coming. Okay. The average R and R scale value of the mentioned 10 companies have been revealed in following tables, which is coming, where R is showing is the value of 0.454, indication 45% of goodness and of fitness, and R scale represents value of 2.6, sorry, 0.26, revealing the revenue of the company depend upon how many tourists have visited the country and how many cars rental services company to generate the revenue. Here is the appendix B, the recognition analysis of each company. Uh, Let me talk about the first model. It's NCR summary. Uh, there is R scale value of R scale is 0.170. Change in dependent variable, which is revenue, due to independent variable, which is number of cars, number of tourists, and GDP. Here, like in summary of HA, there is a value of R scale is 0.175, is dependent of change independent of revenue, uh, independent variable number of cars, number of tourists, and GDP. Here there is model of summary of SRC. There is the value of R scale is 0.241, change in dependent variable revenue due to independent variable, number of cars, number of tourists, and number of GDP. Here's all the models are mentioned here, like all the company models are mentioned here. The values of R scale is mentioned here. Okay, and all these odds are a change in independent variable, and due to independent variable number of cars, number of tourists, and GDP. So we'll move on. The sum of the model summary of sum of all companies. There is R scale value is 0.275, change in independent variable revenue and due to independent variable number of cars, number of tourists, and GDP. Here the all the mentioned companies revenues are our regulations, our scales of values are mentioned here. So let me move on conclusion. The simple regression test analysis of each company and then linear regression analysis of all companies altogether reveal that the revenues of company in this industry is derived from the number of tourists who come to visit the country as well as on the registered number of vehicles that certain company own. This insight has been distributed from running analysis on big data, which has helped us understand the scenario, and thus now on the basis of these analytics, we can boost up the revenue of the company in this industry by making more information and effective decisions. Let me finish my presentation here. Thank you so much.